I wonder who's calling me. 86 degrees. Ooh, that's very hot.
Initiate system calibration. Doesn't look like we've got any help.
Hello, you have reached Steve, the automatic emergency response system. What is your location and what is your problem? How may I help you? Do you have a response to that?
I'm not sure if this is some kind of automated system, but I'm actually a person. I'm Stella. Who am I talking to? I'm currently on the surface of Gaia, inside a life pod. It's not great. I need help figuring things out.
I'm sorry, you have reached Steve, the automated emergency response system. Please tell me what your problem is. And how can I help you? Give a response to that.
Steve, really? That's quite the distinctive name for an automated system. Are you sure this isn't just a person on the other end? Either way, I appreciate you picking up. What I need help with is figuring out how you receive my signal in the first place. The transmission protocol for these emergency calls is supposed to be pretty specific.
Well, in 2001, they had a computer named Dave. This is Steve. Steve, move over. Let me help her. Hi, this is Caitlin. I received your signal. I am a radio operator. What seems to be the problem and what is going on?
Oh, thank goodness for an actual person. Nice to meet you, Caitlin. I'm so glad someone's on the other end. So, how did you manage to pick up my signal? That's still kind of baffling me. These emergency transmissions are supposed to be pretty locked down to specific star portal relays. As for my situation, well, I'm currently trapped inside my life pod. The landing didn't exactly go smoothly, and now the exit's stuck. I've got some tools with me, but I could really use a fresh perspective on how to get out of here.
Okay, so they kind of had a similar situation with one of the Apollo missions, that the doors would not open, and unfortunately, no, it was actually the Mercury missions, and unfortunately, two of the astronauts were trapped inside and they died. Okay, well, if I was a NASA engineer, I would look at this from an engineering perspective. But I have a feeling that this is going to be like a creative kind of, innovative kind of, use what you got and come up with a solution kind of solution. Okay. Yeah, so I am a radio operator. Somehow my signal extended into space. Not very unusual, since a boy from my state picked up a signal from the International Space Station. In this kind of situation, you want to look at some kind of instructional manual and see if they have something for like emergency situations or opening hatches.
That's a long shot, but okay. I'll take your word for it. The manual's not super helpful on this, though. It mentions an emergency exit, but nothing about how to actually open it when it's jammed.
See,
let me think.
That would not be
I've
correct.
Got a drill and some basic tools.
Because they would have given you detailed instructions about the emergency
escape. Maybe there's something we can try to get this hatch moving.
That's weird, because in a normal emergency situation like this, they would have given you detailed instructions on how to open up the emergency hatch. But if you cannot do that, I would try to look at the panel of the other hatch. Maybe use some kind of pliers or some kind of screwdriver to open it.
Let me take a look at the main hatch panel real quick. Okay, I'm back. The panel's got a bunch of screws holding it in place. The screws look a bit stripped, though. Might need something with a bit more grip than my screwdriver set. Any thoughts on how we could deal with these stripped screws? Maybe there's something else in my toolkit that could help.
Okay. Well, let me think about this. So if a screwdriver doesn't work, you either have to use something to provide leverage. Maybe use a pair of pliers and try to bend back the metal and see if you can access that kind of panel. Or possibly use a power tool and drill it out.
Bending the metal with pliers might work, but I'd need to be careful not to damage anything important behind the panel. And drilling it out. I've got a pistol grip drill, but I'd have to be really precise where I drill to avoid hitting any wiring or mechanisms. What do you think would be the safer bet to try first? The pliers for leverage or attempting to drill out the screws?
I would use pliers. That's probably your best bet for some kind of leverage. But I'm curious, tell me more about the planet Gaia and what it is like. And tell me more about your crew.
Gaia's beautiful from what I can see. These rolling hills and golden grasslands stretch out forever.
Oh, this is
The sky's
basically
a
where I'm
deep blue,
from.
even with the clouds moving in.
Okay, so
It
this is
feels
probably
peaceful,
like a
despite
planet,
everything.
Planet of the Apes situation.
As for my crew, I'm not entirely sure where they are. We had to evacuate quickly when our ship was hit by that radiation surge. I haven't been able to contact anyone else since landing. It's unsettling, not knowing if they made it safely. But back to this hatch, using pliers for leverage seems like our best shot. I'll try gripping the screws with them and see if I can get some movement. Wish me luck.
Okay, so this is kind of like a Planet of the Apes situation where the environment you're in kind of resembles Earth and probably has breathable air. Yes, I would use pliers. That's probably your best situation. If that doesn't work, come back to me and we'll figure out a different solution.
Alright, I'm giving the pliers a shot now. Let's see if we can get some leverage on these screws. That worked. I was able to bend the panel enough to get a look inside.
I was going to
There's
suggest
a
a
lot of
crowbar.
wiring and what looks like a mechanical latch. This might be our way in. Now that we've got a glimpse of what's behind the panel, what do you think our next move should be?
Okay, so she says that she can access the panel. Okay, so since you can now access the panel, is there like a latch that you can turn? If it's kind of hard to move, maybe find some kind of lubricant so it makes it easier to turn. If all else fails, we'll try to figure out something else.
That makes sense. I think there's some kind of lubricant in my toolkit. Maybe some electrical tape I could use to help it move smoother. Alright, I'm going to give this a try. I'll contact you again once I'm out. Thanks for helping me figure this out, Caitlin.